Hello! Start off with just a little update from this guy. We just surgically removed the light bulb that was stuck to his head. It almost burned down the house. Okay? Yeah, we're out with him. We're focusing on that North Pole Ninja back there. Another tradition that I love this time of year is getting, my husband and I, we like to get our kids in the car at night, drive around town, and just look at the lights. Like a win-win. They're strapped in. Everybody's happy. But it brings me to this question. How bright is your light? So my sister introduced me to one of my favorite books by Oprah called What I Know For Sure. And how this book came about is that she had a guest on her show once who asked her while she was live producing the show, what do you know for sure? And it stumped her. And she was like, about movies, TV, about what? And he's like, no, about life. And that was a question that really hit her because she couldn't answer it. So she went on this mission for the last 10 to 20 years to create this book, finding out what she knows for sure based on the people she's met, the interviews she's had, and the experiences. So one story in particular really stuck with me, like gave me the chills, like made me feel something. And it was about a guy named John Diaz. And he was coming home from Asia on a work trip to go back to his family. And there were typhoon-like conditions, like crazy winds, torrential downpour. And he kept calling the airline to ask, is this going to take off? Is the plane going to take off? Because the weather was that bad. And they said yes. And in his gut, something told him not to. So disaster struck before they even left the ground. And what happened is this airline, this plane, turned down the wrong terminal and ended up crashing into concrete and construction and just completely exploded. So Diaz was one of 96 people who survived, and there was about half that were not so fortunate. And today he still suffers physically from the injuries, but he is more alive today than ever because of this experience. So on Oprah, what he shared gave me the chills. And he said that there was this spray of jet fuel, and pretty much everything it touched just ignited like a torch. And it was like Dante's Inferno, and there were people that he saw strapped in, just burning. And he managed to escape, but when he did, in the middle of this chaos, he saw this guy running toward him that was engulfed in flames. But his facial expressions were like nothing was happening, like that he had no clue that he was completely on fire, which made John think, am I dead? Am I dying right now? And I don't know it. And what he saw was this is what gave me like the, oh my goodness. What he saw behind him, for those who were not so fortunate to escape, was this aura leaving people's bodies. And some were brighter than others. And he thought that the brightness and dimness of these auras were how one lives their life. And that story just like struck me big time. And whether you believe this story or not, John does. And that's how he's living his life. Based on that he leaves with the brightest aura possible. So, you know, I 100% believe this story, and I believe that you should live your life so that your aura is bright when you leave. And remember that what you believe is your reality, and you are the only one that creates your reality. And once you make the decision how you want to live your life and what you want in your life, the universe will conspire to make it happen. So you don't have to be religious to be spiritual and believe in something. It's just understanding that there's something so much bigger than all of us. And we all have this energy and force. And what you put out in the world always comes back to you. It's like a boomerang. And just an example of energy being a real thing, think of the time where you've walked in a room and you knew people were talking about you. Whether it's good or bad, you knew it based on their behavior, based on the energy that you felt. Or think of the people in your life who give you this amazing energy, and then sometimes you'll hang up the phone being like, just feeling like this negative energy, because that's because it is a real thing. So you have to be aware of the energy you're giving out. And even though I'm no Oprah, not even close, I can tell you what I know for sure is that everything in life is a choice. And you get to write your own story. And don't let anyone else try to write that script. Because you have one chance on this planet, that's it, one chance, to do what you want. And you become what you believe. I truly, truly believe that. And if you want your life to move forward, you are the only one responsible for that. And you cannot wait for someone to come into your life to help you, or you cannot wait for something in your life to make it happen. Only you can make that happen. So at the end of the day, you are the only one that has the power to create and change your life. And when we look back at life, you're not going to look at your job title, how many degrees you had, how many medals you got, how much money you had. You're going to think about the time that you have with the people that you love and the impact that you made on others. So our auras will reflect whether we were willing enough, whether we were brave enough, or fearless enough to go after what we truly want. And I truly, truly believe that is true. Enjoy your last week before Christmas.